Salisbury.
Like the state.
Like the states. All right, stand by, everybody. 2 minutes into our intro. Please like and share, comment, and join us. Stand by.
Promise I'm not being petty. I'm the one they envy. Brody moving state to state, make $1 million out to send me. Plus I grinded from the start. I was stacking pennies. I might dip like Machiavelli. After the confetti, who ready? We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready?
The ongoing series about the life of the people touched by the love of the Pacific. Here are their stories. This is Highway 54.
What's going on, family? Happy Sunday and happy February. I think we all survived the Super Bowl Sunday. Did we?
Yeah, we sure did.
We did. And Valentine's? Anything special for Valentine's?
I mean, Valentine's is... What did you do for Rose?
Well, I'm here in the States and she's in Japan. I bought her some expensive perfume.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She collects perfumes. That's all, you know.
I didn't want anything, but of course he, did something anyway.
Yeah.
Emotional, damn it.
I appreciate it very much. Oh, baby.
Yeah. Well, we got a special guest in the house, and hopefully we'll get some stories out of the way. So we got some interesting stuff to do. But we've got family. Actually, we've never had family come and be interviewed. We've always had friends and coworkers. So in the house, we've got Monica Cottman. Damn, I don't want to say Cootman. An artist who's anything but ordinary, born in Maryland, right? Raised in the suburbs and whisked away by the magic of Italy, New York. Monica's artistic vision is a vibrant blend of all these experiences. She's also a Columbia graduate. No big deal, right?
Yeah, definitely a big deal.
Little something.
Yeah.
But seriously, Monica has some serious talent, a story to tell. And man, her art, I'm looking through it right now. So beautiful, and it just kind of goes along with her story. She joins us to dive into her journey, explore how her life adventures and her shaped her art, and maybe some embarrassing stories of Carla. Hear that? Or each other. Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, Monica.
Thank you. That was an incredible welcome.
Thank you. So, And I see people in the comments. Thanks for joining us always. And if you have questions for her, please ask us. So Monica, let's get really into it real quick. Share a little bit about your early influences and how you shaped your artistic style.
Before I start, I just want to say thank you for having me on the show. This is a great honor. I appreciate it. Thank you, Carla. Carla's my cousin. Thank you, cuz. So early influences were Romare Bearden, who's a collage artist, African-American. His work, he was actually multi-dimensional artist, but I really was inspired by his collages. They depicted scenes of the South. Another artist that had a big influence on me was Andy Warhol. A lot of the 80s, everything that was going on in the 80s was very influential in informing my art. It was all about fashion, music, the beginning of celebrity as we know it now. So the whole pop art movement that Andy started was very influential. He also expressed himself through film and and collaborations with other artists like Basquiat, who was also another great influence. I also was influenced by artists, music artists. David Bowie in particular. I like the way that he approached his image. He really cultivated his image and marched to his own drum, the beat of his own drum, and was very unique in how he expressed himself through fashion, through music, through film as well. So those are some big influences, and over time, I mean, the list just grows.
Yeah. So at what age were you like, I want to draw or I can draw, and you started putting colors together and collages and what?
Yeah, thank you. I would say about age 9. I'm not sure why I was in the car waiting. This was at a time when I think people actually left their kids in the car. And
Oh yeah.
We had ashtrays in the car, right?
We had lap belts too.
Yeah, we didn't have the shoulder
That's all you
belt.
needed.
Or we had that thing where mom, when they slam on brakes and you go like this.
Oh yeah, the hand.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, but I would wait in the car. And my mom was very stylish, as was Aunt Barbara. But my mom was really stylish. My grandmom was stylish. But my mom used to read Vogue. And that magazine just started a love affair with fashion and lifestyles that were presented that were not like mine. And let me be clear, I loved how we grew up. I have very fond memories of the Eastern Shore and our large family, but this was different. And drawing was my way of connecting and connecting with that lifestyle, connecting with those images, connecting with how they made me feel. And I realized that I just picked up a pencil and started drawing because it inspired me to do so. And I realized that I was good at it.
nice.
So about age 9.
About age 9. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So 1981, MTV came out. And for a long time, from the 70s, most of us were born 70s, 80s. Now we saw the art of video, right? You said David Bowie,
Yes.
and the music together. And of course, we were stuck on TV since like I think 85. I was like 10 years old at the time. So how was that? How did that visual of like David Bowie and all these artists really got you like into making, because your art is like an MTV VH1 ish, like a lot of music, and I feel music into your art.
Yeah, actually, I want to shout out, I want to go in a different direction. Also music related. I want to shout out an artist who's a fashion designer, and his name is Tamichi Tony Briggs. And he did a lot of the fashion that we saw on Soul Train. And Soul Train was a big deal because it was a marriage of fashion and music, and the people looked like me. So, I could see the influences and the conversations that were had between that type of artistic expression and what was going on in the music videos at the time.
Okay.
Like a lot of the body conscious clothes, the colors. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of your pieces called the Angler. Can you talk about that one a little bit?
Yes.
The Angler Madam. Yes.
Madam.
Yes. That's a really cool piece.
Thank you. That one is how it came about how I was feeling at the time. I felt like, fuck this. Fuck this.
Right here. Yeah.
And it's a lot of layers to it, but I got a lot of inspiration from publications targeted to a Black audience.
Mm-hmm.
With these headlines. So a lot of the language at the bottom are, they're not my words. Those are straight headlines. Yep. And I feel like they were funny. They were ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But sadly, we're still dealing with those subjects.
And how long ago was this piece?
A little older than 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it explains a lot. Because I was like, the truth about dark Negroes, which is already talking about the classism just in, our community that we have already.
Colorism.
Yeah.
Yeah, very observant. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And this is part of a whole series and iterations of this character that I drew. And it's inspired also by the anglerfish. Mm-hmm. Which is it depends on how you view it, but it's not considered an attractive fish. And it has a very extreme and unusual mating ritual, males and females. And I really connected with it. Actually, so I'll talk about the whole, I don't know if you're familiar with the anglerfish, but it has a lure. Mm-hmm. And it's and it exists in the depths of the sea or the ocean, and the male attaches to the female and becomes fused and dies. Wow. And the female is significantly larger than the male, and yeah, so it's saying it's a lot going on with this particular piece. Yeah, but that was part of the inspiration. Being a caregiver, being a person who takes care of people, is a central figure in the family. There was a lot of connection to the life of that fish.
Okay.
Wow.
Has a lot of layers. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it more interesting. Like I keep looking at it and I'm like, okay.
People who have been inspired by that fish. So you have, I think Finding Nemo is actually an anglerfish. And also FK Twigs was also inspired by the anglerfish. And then, oh my God, her name is escaping me, but the wife of Rick Owens has been inspired by the anglerfish.
Okay. Well, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So your art is very deep. And let me tell you, when I first saw it, she's like, I just want to show you something or whatever. I'm just like, not knowing what it was. But when I first walked in, I was like, what? This you did this? And she's probably like, what, you thought I couldn't do it? I had no clue. I was just like, wow. And to see it in person and to like touch it is breathtaking. The foil, what is it called again? The roll foil?
Roll foil, yes.
Yes.
I don't want to interrupt you, please.
Yeah, and the screen printing. And I was just like, man, like me, I'm trying to paint a wall. And
Can we show this one? The untitled party scene?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then there was another picture that she did of Erykah Badu. And that was so dope. She has so many. And then one of like a couple of my grandmother and my grandfather. Those were so nice.
The ancestor portraits. Yes.
So have you ever done like maybe like a teaching or gone to like a school to like, talk to students or maybe done like a paint and sip or something like that or considered something like that?
Never. It does interest me down the road, but I've never taught. But I do like the idea of the paint and sips as an activity, as something to do.
Networking.
Yes. It's such a stress reliever.
Mm-hmm.
And it can also be a spiritual experience.
Yes. And so you've been to Busboys and Poets, and we're going to get to that too. Because I think that's really, really interesting. But going to like Busboys and Poets, because I haven't really been on like a poetry night or anything like that. So they do like poetry and then art. You have somebody, I know I've seen it on like Love Jones or something like that, where they do like poetry and art. Did they do something like that?
Yes, they do poetry. They have poetry nights. And I'll just share with the audience. So my work was selected. I have 18 pieces up for display at the Busboys and Poets on 450 K Street. Yes, thank you. And I'm so appreciative. And it's a great place. It's like a gathering place where the intersections of politics, race, art, writing. The owner was inspired by, help me out here. I can't think of his name.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I listened to that story because I was when I first heard about Busboys and Poets, I was like slowly expanding because it's like you got to say which one in DC because you can easily go to the wrong one.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, so my art is on display there, and that's what Carla is speaking to.
And then so you have something coming up, and that's the talk that they're doing.
Yes. The two artists that I am exhibiting with are two Iranian women artists, and who are friends with the owner of the establishment. And so they are supporting us by giving us a reception in celebration of International Women's Month in March. So stay tuned for an Art Talk Tuesday. So a Tuesday in March to be determined.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely.
Yeah.
So behind you, you have the original art, right?
Yeah.
The one I'm looking at now, and it's the first slide on that you sent me. Untitled party scene.
Yes.
This one's talking to me because as like we all are, we love music, we love fashion, we all grew up in the 80s, and I feel like that vibe is coming back now. And this photo and the one you have right behind you, which is most likely the original. Tell us about that. And why is it not titled right now? It's untitled party scene.
I'm climbing back, so to speak. It's art is expensive. You need space, you need materials. Ideally, I mean, there are many artists who create incredible things with little to nothing. But it is an expensive an expensive thing to cultivate. You know, you need materials. And I did not nurture my talent for the better part of 20 years. I am revisiting this dream, and this is part of that. This is part of that. So in answer to your question, I'm creating. I haven't titled it as of yet.
So what influenced you on in this art here? I see
I was
fashion.
just thinking about, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't allow you to finish.
No, go ahead. I mean, because I see some moons, or I don't know, red dot. Is that supposed to be the sun? I don't know.
No, it's part of just, you know, some things don't necessarily need explanation.
Yeah.
It's just creative license and inspiration and working with colors and shapes. I really enjoy. Actually, this is not a painting. This is the medium that I use was created by a woman named Virginia Myers, and it is foil printing. And I think it's important to note that women, I don't know if this percentage is still accurate, but just a few years ago, women only represented 7% of the art in major museums and collections across the globe. I don't know if people are aware of that. And so I like that what I enjoy doing was something that was developed by a woman. It's a commercial process, much like the process on Christmas cards or Christmas bags and foil. And she's taken that and turned that into a medium where we as artists can express ourselves through print. And so she actually invented a machine. The machine is like $10,000 to $13,000.
Wow.
But I experimented for 6 years with different polymers and toner. And I was able to come up with my own groove in how to get this finish without having, I can't afford that machine. So I enjoy doing it too. It's wonderful, it's beautiful. As Carla mentioned, you don't really get to appreciate the beauty of the foils unless you see them up close. With a movement or a change in lighting, it just takes on a whole different form, a whole different color. And I really enjoy working with it.
It's beautiful.
It is.
It's beautiful.
It's dope. But I have a quick question for you too.
Yes.
But you say you've been doing it since you were 9 years old. Was there ever a point in your life to where you didn't want to really step out there as far as your talent is concerned? And then when the light bulb went off and you stuck your chest out, you're like, you know what? I can do this. When did that really happen for you?
With this podcast. Yes. Yeah, I feel like recently I decided to go back to school. And what's funny is I didn't want to go to Columbia, actually. I wanted to go to FIT, but they turned me down 3 times. And I don't know where I had the wherewithal to apply to Columbia, but I did. And it's been a journey. So ever since going back to school to now, it's been a journey. And I'm becoming more and more comfortable with sharing that I even do art with people that I work with, friends, family. Yeah. So in recent years.
It's one of those things where you have a muse and inspiration, and you have a time where I'm just doing this art and it's just flowing and coming out. And from what I'm hearing is like you stopped for a while, and then it's kind of like came back to it again. Um, do you feel now is like from all your experiences, because you said you went to Italy, you went to New York and Maryland, probably other places too. How is that gap of not doing much art or any art period have influenced you now in your new pieces?
So when I went to Italy, I was again inspired by fashion, by music. I wanted to be a fashion designer. A lot of the designers that I liked at the time were Italian, and I went to Italy. And like you mentioned, life happened. And I think the intersections of race, of gender, of politics, of, living life, definitely has informed my art now, and age, having experiences, when I started school at Columbia, I had concerns that, am I going to be able to keep up? There are a lot of young people, but a professor reminded me that I have an edge. It's called content, experience. And so that has really helped me, and varied experiences and varied influences, not just one thing. And I like all types of music, all types of art. Same with fashion. So it's all informed me.
Nice. Wow.
So what would you say to somebody that's like looking or kind of shy and don't have that confidence yet to build that confidence to push forward through in the art area?
You mean like me? I
I
didn't have a lot of confidence even up until this point. Joining this podcast is a big deal. I'm definitely facing a lot of my fears and anxieties and challenges. And what has helped me is my Buddhism, actually. And so in terms of answering your question, just being grounded by something. And for me, it's my spirituality, it's my family, things that really matter. And if I had to give advice to someone who's interested, I would just say do, and keep doing and never give up.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if it's nasty, like just throw it out there and be like, no matter what the artwork is, we're like,
That's
I
right.
don't care.
That's
Just see
right.
what happens.
Listen, there's a lot of folks out here that we're all aware of who are doing the damn thing because they had the audacity. And I say, do it. And that's what this moment is right now. I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Even if it's nasty.
Yeah.
That's right. Because like I said, you never know who's gonna like it.
That's right. It's something up there for everybody.
People going viral just eating food and smacking in a microphone. I mean,
look at Netta and Charles. Look at Sexy Red. Just saying.
Working in the hospital. On the hospital bed.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, now you know how it is. Everybody has their season, and I think this is we're honored to have you come and share your art, because I'm sure you've never had a podcast where you're something so intimate that you're sharing with the rest of the world. And we've got now family and friends like, wow, I didn't know that she was that good. And your art speaks to a lot of us. And I think because of how we all grew up in the 80s and 70s, 80s, and 90s,
Right.
and it reflects you. Honestly, the few minutes I got to know you, your art actually it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense now, and I love the foil. I like the color, you know, how it's coming out. So we would highly encourage you to keep doing it, because you know, I might want to buy one right now until it goes out.
We're definitely going to purchase some Monica art. Definitely.
I have payment plans, people. I'm, you know.
Stripe allow you to do payment plans.
Don't tell him that. He might pull out some Monopoly money and try to like, don't trust him.
Employed, Angie, you know, Carla, Dorsey, thank you. D3, DJ Kid Mango, thank you all. I'm honored to be on here, you know, being asked to talk about my art. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Yeah, Carmela's on here. Hi,
all right,
Carmela.
so last question here. Looking ahead, now that you have this spark, and now that you have that you know confidence now, and us affirming that you know you got some talent. What are your aspirations for the future in your art? You know, are there any upcoming projects and themes now that you're excited to now explore?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's so much. I actually send myself text messages to keep up with how my mind is constantly coming up with ideas to put out there. And so in terms of the future, keep doing what I'm doing, never give up, keep sharing.
Yes.
Yeah. And right now I'm looking for community. You know, I live in an area where, and you know, the internet definitely helps us travel.
Yeah.
Oh,
and, you know, with in terms of community, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to putting out more work and doing what I do.
And
Well, I
then
can't wait. Oh,
go
I was
ahead.
just saying, I can't wait till you get that Kanye West complex. You know what I'm saying? Just start wearing the art on your chest. Be like, you know what?
I
You
do
know what
that.
it is. You better get it.
Yes. But I mean, like, also like with social media, I understand how you can be a little hesitant about it because people steal, you know, and so having the right people in your corner and having the right like copyrights, watermarks, and all that type of stuff. Yeah. You know, that is, you know, it'll
What do you think about the NFTs? Because NFTs could help.
Yes. Yes.
Is that still a thing?
NFT.
Yeah.
I do actually have an NFT.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, NFTs I think is really made for the art industry. If you really take a look at it, because it's like it's a non-fungible token, which means that you have the original copy.
Absolutely.
Like, and that's it. So thinking about it just from the art, I know it's made for art, but thinking about like taking it to the receipts and everything like that, I don't want to go off too far of a tangent, but I think, I mean, I'm just thinking like, what do you think technology, does it actually help you out in your artwork, or was that be like more of a deterrent? Because I know you talking about your mediums are more like hands-on, and you talked about the $13,000 technology that's out there, but how is it from the digital side of the house and the AI side of the house impacting your industry?
I can't really speak on the industry so much, and I really
You can say you don't care.
I think that there's the good and the not so good, as you all have spoke to, in terms of copyright infringement, intellectual property, you know, but for me, I'm just going to stay positive, keep doing what I'm doing, keep sharing, and utilize the technology in the best way. I do think it's a help. I think it's incredible that Instagram has, and many other forums, platforms are vehicles to get our art across the world without an agent, without the often biased art world politics if you will. So there are many ways that the technology benefits the industry and the artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I feel like your art is not. I keep saying this, but it touches a lot of people. Like once you see it, you're like, man, I gotta have it. But do you think like, and now we're talking about NFTs? We're like, well, a lot of people do art on as merch. So like I was saying, so before H&M and everybody else starts ripping you off, you might as well jump on that gun now and and that wagon, and then maybe look into merchandising your art.
I do have some services that will be premiering soon. I paint on leather, and the foil print can also be applied to leather. So immediately one thinks of fashion, the accessories and so on. So and in terms of merch, I mean, it's endless.
I know.
So
you can make your own Monica sneakers.
Yeah.
You better ask them. You better ask them. What?
That's right.
399 sneakers.
You can see 11s right here.
You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't there like an artist that was using help, not saying help as in help, but far as having other artists kind of help come up with the vision for other or inspiration, and then they kind of just slap their name on the piece, even though it's almost like a ghost artist. Depending on if they want to duplicate that artwork, is that something that you plan on doing in the future, or to kind of mass produce?
Not necessarily. I mean, sure, it would be great to be commercially successful, but not at the expense of like selling my soul or my, compromising my integrity.
Right.
And I do think that you can't help like what you see, what you hear, what you feel, definitely has influence or impact. So, this is how design and creation goes, right? You're inspired. You can't unsee something. You can't unfeel how something makes you, feel in terms of your expression of art. But it's a lot going on out there, but it's also a lot of positive stuff. You have to copy the right cat. You have to, in terms of how it comes out, it should be your own,
Yeah. Well, Birdland says, I wear an XL shirt, please and thank you.
Dana, right? Yeah.
Monica, you do have a website, right? Do you have a website?
Yes, monicacottman.com.
Okay. And what do you mostly share with there? Is it more your portfolio, news contact?
It'll have the latest news. It'll also have samples of my artwork.
Nice.
And, going back to Anthony's question, this is why I don't put out a lot of work as well. You want to protect what you're doing. It's a balance. I don't know necessarily how to navigate it, but I am aware that you have to protect your intellectual property.
Yes.
There you go. It's on the screen there. Okay.
Thank you.
And they can also contact you if they want to do like a show, or maybe what do you call that when people hire you to do pieces?
Commissions.
Commissions.
Yes, I'm open for commissions.
Ooh. Right there for our ancestor wall.
Somebody is requesting some artwork for their birthday, so.
Okay.
Oh, there's a commission. All right, so go to Monica COTTMAN.com right here. You see the website, and you can contact her.
The middle picture right there, the middle picture, Floyd.
Yeah,
that's our grandmother when she.
Oh, really? Let me see.
Yeah.
And that's your who's this? This guy?
That's my grandfather. Our grandfather.
Is that Roxy? Roxy Pearl?
Yes.
Yes.
Rup's gold. Oh, that's
Dope.
beautiful.
That is dope.
Now, what medium is this one for the portraits?
Again, this is a variety of mediums. I did attempt the roll foil, but this is gold leaf, and it's also acrylic paint. And then you have some of the polymer that I use for the roll foil. And incidentally, this series was inspired by Andy Warhol. You know, he did celebs. I'm doing my ancestors. And I just wanted to understand and see and, you know, get a different vibe of, you know, applying some of that or approaching that in the vein of Warhol and how that looks when dealing with race, a particular time, and family, heritage.
Your grandma was hot. She's beautiful.
Quick question, Monica.
Let's change topic. Let's go.
Wow.
Quick question. By doing the ancestors, I know it can be a tedious process and getting it the way that you want it. Would you be willing to do other people's ancestors as well?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, D3, for asking me that. So yes, I'm open for commissions. I can do your ancestor on any type of foil medium. Yeah.
What size are we looking at? Like 8x11? You know,
no, they're
33 foot.
most of the things are about 24 by 36, or 22 by 24.
That's a nice size.
Yeah. So you have to do some mock-ups and then have them over top, like bed over top of beds or down hallways or stuff like that too. Definitely.
Yes, and I do when I approach sizing, I think about, you know, there's one thing to have these really large, wonderful pieces, but most people have walls that. So I do think about that. I'm creating art for everybody. You know, I want you to feel good. I want you to like it. I want you to think it's hot. I want you to be inspired. And I think one special thing about the foil is it's so dynamic, right? When you have it in your space, it's twinkling at you. It depends on how the light hits it, you know, what angle you decide to look at it. And so I'm thinking about having it in my home and in your home. Yeah.
Awesome. I tell you, there's a piece that you did too for my father that is very nice. That Mom has in the living room. And when you presented it to him, I mean, I just thought I don't know. I didn't even know you did art then, honestly. I thought you had something framed. I was like, wow, she did that shit too. It's very, 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 very nice. He loves it. My parents.
Yes, thank you. Going on record, Uncle Gene and Aunt Barbara are two of my favorite people in the world. And so, yeah, my uncle had a picture of himself from Vietnam. And, you know, it inspired me.
Nice. We have a question out there. I'm not sure if you can answer this. It's that Bill says, why do artists paint on paper? Just wondering, knowing but not about art, but opposed to brass, copper, foil. Is it?
So those are goals. And then it goes back to, again, space, you know, having space to work, materials, that has a cost to it in time, in, you know, where you do work, how you do work. But I do like paper personally.
Okay.
But yes, the roll foil actually can be applied to aluminum, different types of metal, as I mentioned, leather, wood. So it has a lot of applications. And I'm also not completely married. I paint. I've done sculpture, moving sculpture, mechanical sculpture.
Right.
So
So
yeah.
are you, do you do you're into graphics? As well?
Not so much. I wish I was. I'm not that, I'm not adept in the whole graphic sphere.
Mhm.
We know some people that are involved in that. It's pretty interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all
So
right.
I feel like in my industry, I'm a barber esthetician, and I work with the education part, and I see a lot of artists joining the industry because it's another way of art. And I
Yeah.
guess for you, you're doing foil, but as you grow and keep going, you're going to use different, ways to express your art, whether it be paper. Of course, you said it's all about cost and time and copper. So, how long does like your art right now with a foil? How long does it take to start to finish, or is it kind of like you do it in one day? Is it like a couple days, or weeks?
It's a big question mark. The actual application of the foil takes seconds, right?
Mm,
However, I'm not necessarily finished with it. I'm still thinking about where I want the placement of that circle, or if I want that circle to be a particular color or finish. So it takes time. Sometimes I do things and it comes back, I come back to it, I should say. So it could be months.
Okay.
So, I mean, we always hear like parents always say, like, choosing to go to school. And usually art is one of those hardest industries to kind of get into and break away because of the return on investment. What would you say to somebody that's out there that's like looking to get into art as the education piece? Or would you kind of say like pick something else and don't go this path and do art on your free time?
I would never say that, because education is always a good thing. So if you want to go to school, but thankfully things are changing. And it doesn't matter if they weren't changing. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah.
Yep.
I have a quick question for you too, Monica. I know you just like the rest of us, you're a perfectionist when it comes to your craft. So when do you get to a point to where you're like, you know what? No, I'm stopping. I'm not doing anything else. Because sometimes it gets to a point where less is more,
Like
but at the same time, you want
right.
to add more to it,
Mhm.
and you want to express something else. When do you say to yourself, this is a hard cutoff. I need to stop right here. It's done. It's finished. But you're still going to be critiquing yourself mentally. But when do you apply yourself like, no, I'm not doing anything
And
else?
the fact that you're a Virgo, like we do. Like we're Virgos too. So it's just like when we go down a rabbit hole and we're just like, dang, but maybe I should yeah.
I just sat there and told you it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, why are you acting like that? Look,
Right.
you're not done. Yes, I'm done.
Like, listen.
I'm done.
Dorsey, I didn't realize you were a Virgo.
Yeah, I got issues.
You got issues.
No, I got issues.
You got issues.
It's that simple. You don't want the truth, don't ask us.
Yeah.
Right.
You might not be able to handle the response.
Yeah.
But again, we're also our own worst critic.
Yes. Very hard on myself. I'm working on it. But to answer your question, I really can't answer it because it varies from piece to piece. Some pieces and another wonderful thing about this this medium, and it connects to what you said about Virgos. No matter how much I try to plan and plot and feel, you cannot control the medium. You can't control how it's going to come out because of the heat and the pressure and the types of foil. You don't know how it's going to look. So it's there's a lot of setup involved as well. So even though the actual application takes seconds, laying out a piece can take a very long time. And it's not the easiest thing to cut and plan. So it could take a while.
Yeah.
You know,
so what jobs do you do?
when I'm working on a piece, if I may, I'm sorry.
No, good.
It might take 3 hours of setup or a few seconds of the application. And then you have to peel off things and then go back and then place things. And I often just set something down, walk away from it, and literally play with it. It could be days, it could be weeks before I permanently apply it.
Awesome. Wow.
But that meticulous attitude shows in your artwork. We appreciate
It
that.
does.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's dope.
It really is.
Coach Anthony, you had a question, right?
Yeah, I was on because I always talking about finances here. So what did you do like in the meantime, like in between? Did you have like other jobs or was somebody supporting you while you're doing your artwork? Like how does this what was the worst job you had? I'll go there. Sorry.
Worst job? You said worst job? Oh man.
The worst job I've ever had was so bad that I can't talk about it.
Yeah. So you didn't do something strange for a little change, is what you're saying to make sure.
No.
Give me what you got for a pork chop.
that was our other guest.
No,
that was that guest that they're talking about. They're talking about which guest they're talking about. Yeah.
No, I did not. But no, I was saying that because I've literally had to sign NDAs to not speak about it. But they are big companies, they're well known. And so my day job is an executive assistant.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
So you know where the body's buried.
Yes. And I work for a lot of illustrious characters. Let's just say that.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, because I always think about like from artwork, it's because once it gets off, it's great, but also staying on is also the tough part because art to some people is seen as a fad. Like once they bought the art, now what? So it's like that whole marketing piece is a whole nother thing because like you love the art, but the marketing and all this extra stuff, it becomes a whole nother job.
Absolutely. And very observant of you. All of your questions have been really on point with the industry and the business of art, which is a challenge. So yes, I do have a day job that I love, and but it does help me purchase materials and keep things afloat. And roll foil is a very expensive medium. One of the main places that sources that I purchase from, it's expensive. Like one of the rolls that I used to buy, the minimum now that they want, they're not selling to an individual, they're selling bulk. So the minimum purchase is like $7,000.
Whoa. Hey.
Times it to they start using a different medium like aluminum foil. Like.
So the biggest question, since we got that number now for supply, how much is one of your paintings? How do you base your price in painting in your artwork?
I definitely look at some more detailed market information. I've seen some work at Busboys and Poets go for like, let's just say really high numbers. So I feel like I priced my work very accessibly.
Gotcha. Without saying the number, but yeah.
Yeah.
So they might change next month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Don't sell yourself short.
So if you're interested, let's just say it's accessible. I feel like it's accessible for really anyone to be able to own a piece. And I'm into bartering. I'm into other things. So
what are your interests?
Ready for a chip and plate.
I got pictures on my feet.
Let me just stop them. We're trying to have a professional conversation here.
No, we're not. We're this is fine.
We chilling. We good. We good.
Tim, man, he in Louisiana tuning in right now. Tim, where you at?
I do see.
Do her artwork for some crawfish.
My cousin, she does not eat chitterlings.
Emotional, damn it.
But
Need some boudin too.
But I mean, with their experience, I mean, think about it. You have like so many years of experience. We'll just say over 30 years of experience. We'll say that you have over 30 years of experience of doing art. And so you're paying for experience, you're paying for time, you're paying for materials and all of that stuff. So, I mean, hey, if you know about good art, you know about good art, and you know.
Yeah.
Price for it.
I don't think people go to like not museums, but like to art galleries and start bargaining. The price is the price.
No,
I mean,
they don't bargain.
Exactly.
They don't bargain.
Exactly.
Yeah,
if she was gonna, sometimes people will run a special or something. Like if you get it today, you're gonna get 10% off because it's President's Day or something like that. No, that's
ain't no MSRPs and all that.
But it is what it is. Like this is what it is. Like how often do you see Gucci or somebody like that having a sale? I mean they do, but I mean for the most part, high end stuff. You don't.
Well, I'm thinking of because I went to Vegas and they had a full art section. I think it was not the Bellagio. It was one of those it was a full shopping area. It looked like you're in a city with the fake sky above. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
You talking about Fremont?
Venetian?
Not a Fremont. It was in a new
Venetian?
Vegas. I think it's a Venetian. Yeah.
Okay.
So underground, they had the little water and all that fun stuff. But in there, I was looking at those pieces and I was like, I know this is Vegas, but this is way out of my price range. But the pieces were amazing, all made out of metal though. They weren't how you say with the foil side of the house. So most of them, it was showcasing a particular artist that did mostly in the metal, and I think they were doing woodwork. The paintings were more of an oil base. So they didn't, and maybe some acrylic, but that was about it.
Do you do oil based? And
I do do oil paintings.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Go ahead, Anthony. I'm sorry, I'm rude.
Oh, no, you good. So I was just wondering, far as the price range, it makes sense. I mean, so what would make you feel as if what I'm saying, you made it? Who would you want to buy your piece?
Anyone who likes it. It really is about accessibility. The journey to get here and my Buddhist practice has really had an impact on how, and as an artist, one wants to be successful, right? Financially. But where I am now, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Okay. I'm enjoying the output. I look forward to commissions. I look forward to working with people. Mm-hmm. This is the beginning of something good. Right. And I'm open to that, and I'm not controlled by the monetary aspect of it. I don't do it for that. I do it because I enjoy doing it. Mm-hmm. And I, in terms of who would, I've actually sold pieces. Mm-hmm. And so I'm happy when people who like my pieces are.
Floyd playing your outfit.
Yeah, I get it.
Like you gotta rest.
No,
It's
he
time to
didn't
wrap
say
it up.
wrap it up. No, he didn't try to go
Floyd
date
started
it.
playing the music. I was like,
No, it's amazing. You know, I told you, like, it's so random when we're doing interviews.
Yeah,
And it goes, we
This
think
was
30
very-
minutes, but when it was like, we're really into your
Yeah.
art, you know, really into the conversation, it goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah, it does.
And I love it. Yeah. And
It was
we
Because it was like one question. Like, wait a minute, but I got a quick question.
I
So
know. Yeah.
this was like
Even the audience was asking questions, which is valid questions. Like,
this-
great.
this was-
Yeah. This is the most interaction we've had, actually, you know, with us, of course, with the our audience too. So
You did it.
you
Yeah,
did it.
shout out to my family and friends. Thank you all so much for supporting me. And again, thank you all, Anthony, DJ Kid Mango, Carla, D3. Thank you all. I'm honored.
Thank you
Thank
everybody for joining.
Welcome.
Stay on Monica because after we stay on for after.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you, audience, family, and friends for tuning in. Man, it was a great interview. We'll have more of this in the next couple months. And love you guys. See you guys next Sunday.
Take care. See you next Sunday.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed the show today. Do us a favor and click on the like button or share our podcast. Thanks for listening. Till next time, we are Highway 54.